Hello, my name is Alicia, and I help people with stress, anxiety, and emotional trauma to learn how to rewire their subconscious mind so that they can move away from a frequency of suffering and survival and into one of a conscious manifester. So, thank you so much for joining me today. It is another beautiful rainy day here in Portland, Oregon, where my husband and I are currently living in our fifth wheel. So if you hear the rain coming down, that's Mother Nature, babe. I love it, and I'm so grateful to be able to at least have the time and space to share with you today for this video. So this video is all about helping you understand the underlying reason for anxiety. Because our knowledge is power. And by creating awareness on your journey, you will have created the first step to overcoming your anxiety. So grab a pen and paper if you want to take notes. Take a deep breath and let's get started. So most people think of anxiety as an overactive mind, right? The negative thought processes, the nervousness, the worry, and of course the physical manifestation of anxiety, which is panic attacks. And while this is all true, there are so many layers to anxiety. And there are so many ways that anxiety can affect our lives. So today is about understanding the why. Why do I have crippling anxiety before going into a crowded place like a concert or Walmart? Why do I lose sleep at night worrying about the future or dwelling on the past? Why do I have so much emotion around anxiety that creates panic attacks or maybe even contributes to other mental health symptoms like depression? Well, first of all, know this. You are not alone, babe. This is the way that so many of us are living in this fast-paced world because they have not learned yet how to shift one very important thing. And that is the way that your mind is programmed to operate. In other words, your subconscious programming. So on a subconscious level, we are all programmed for survival, right? Your subconscious mind works very hard for you since you were born to create these automatic programs that are going to keep you safe on every level of being. And since your subconscious programming runs 95% of your life on autopilot, what you think, what you feel, what you do, how you see the world, what opportunities you see or don't see for yourself, this is all manifesting in your reality in every way from those subconscious programs. And because we are hardwired for survival, our mind is programmed to notice and focus on the negative side of our experiences, actually 2.5 times more than it's likely to focus on the positive. So, in essence, if you can shift your mental programs that run 95% of your life on autopilot, then you can create new programs that serve you instead of work against you. This is big, y'all. It has changed my life in every way. So let's dig a little bit deeper and figure out what is it then that is creating these subconscious programs that are making us anxious. This is going to help you step into your power. It's going to help you step into your power to stop living in survival mode all the damn time. So first, let's start with the basic physical cause of anxiety symptoms. And the most common factor is stress. Now, stress is something that we all experience, and it is meant to be a good thing for us, right? It keeps us safe on all levels because stress triggers a physical response in the body, right? That's that fight or flight system, which is actually a little bit more commonly known now as the fight, flight, or freeze system. And when triggered, our fight or flight system creates these hormonal changes in the body that helps us to prepare our body to survive some kind of threat. Traditionally, this stress was mostly for physical survival, right? Like running from a predator or surviving a harsh winter with little to no food. But today, in our very fast-paced life, full of disconnection, our stress response is being triggered by thoughts alone. And it's not a physical threat anymore. It's literally fabricated by our consciousness. And it's these mere thoughts and emotional responses to them that is triggering your fight or flight system, causing you anxiety. And so for people who are living in this state of survival mode, this is a very dangerous loop to be in, because as you continue to think and feel a certain way, your belief systems are being created and strengthened. Think of a dirt path that you are walking down. The more you walk on that path, the more defined it gets. And over time, this path becomes a road that's easier to travel on. And so your subconscious mind is going to choose that road over and over again because it's more defined. This is the thought-feeling loop. And it's shaping your mental programs every single day, whether you're aware of it or not. Your thoughts are very powerful and ever-flowing. And when your dominant thoughts are mostly around those low vibrational emotions like stress and worry and doubt and fear, those are the roads that you're forming and defining in your mind. Those are the roads that your subconscious mind is going to take over and over again. So next, let's take a deeper look into your emotions, because anxiety is an emotional feeling, but anxiety itself is not an emotion. Anxiety is a mask of suppressed emotions. Let me say that again. Anxiety is a mask of a suppressed emotion. That means that there is an emotion underneath your anxiety. Sometimes we don't always recognize it or understand it because on the surface, most people will attribute their anxiety to worrying or stressing about the future or the past, right? And while it is true that unhealthy thought patterns are keeping us stuck thinking this way, the underlying cause for those thought patterns is your feelings. Your feelings towards a certain experience in your life. So to go down another layer, it is a suppression of emotional trauma. A suppression. Now hold on a second, because trauma may not be what you think. So most people hear that and they think it's a scary word. They think of it as something really big and scary, like a big deal, like losing a loved one, or fighting in a war, or enduring abuse as a child or an adult. And while these are all examples of trauma, your trauma does not have to be linked to these very big life experiences in order to affect your subconscious programming. In fact, it's much more common for people to experience a buildup of many little things throughout their life. You've had many experiences in your life, right? Think about how many of those were emotionally distressing that you can think of. Likely a lot. Many of these experiences may have gone without resolution or meaningful processing. And this is the reason that we keep ourselves stuck in that moment, like a movie replaying over and over again in your mind. Not just because it's bothering us, but because our subconscious mind has suppressed this emotional experience. We are choosing to continually suppress and reject that part of ourselves instead of learning to listen to it and understand it, instead of giving time and space to heal it. Let me give you a couple examples of this. So as an example, when a child expresses anger, most households do not accept the expression of anger. So they reject that child's expression of that emotion. And they likely do it over and over again. They may even get punished or scolded in some way, even though the child is only trying to learn how to accept and express themselves emotionally. But they are being taught in that moment, no, 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 it is not acceptable to be angry or express anger in that way. And so whenever the emotion of anger is felt, even as an adult, that individual will reject it. They will suppress it because they were taught that it was unacceptable and that it would interfere with the acceptance of the people around them to be angry. Which in early childhood is huge, because the people that we rely on for our survival is our parents. So when they do not accept us, our fight or flight will go on. Now, this is happening in every stage of our life. So think about our preteen years, when we got made fun of for being our authentic self, for example. We learned during that time in our life that we should reject that part of us because we want to fit in. We don't want to lose the acceptance and friendship of our peers. Let's talk about another, a romantic relationship. Let's say that you had rejection from someone who you really liked in high school or college. That rejection made us begin to question, why are we having this rejection from this person? And once again, our subconscious mind tells us, you better suppress those parts of yourselves that are not being accepted, because we want you to survive. We want you to be more desirable and find a mate. I had a boss once that treated me so unfairly, and I couldn't really do anything about it in that moment. I had to suppress my emotions. I had to shove it way down deep. It never got resolved. And guess what? I used to replay that moment over and over and over again and feel those emotions over and over and over again, which is those negative thought patterns that made me feel anxious and made me lose sleep at night. It literally contributed to me having panic attacks. And so in an attempt to maintain that connection, that acceptance, and that love from others, we learn to reject and suppress parts of ourselves. Most commonly, our emotions. And when we reject parts of ourselves, we put it somewhere that we're not even conscious of, right? It goes into our subconscious mind. The same subconscious mind that's creating those programs for you on autopilot, right? That's running 95% of what you think, feel, and do. So this again is coming from that need for survival, which as a child is love and acceptance, right? As a teen, maybe it was not being rejected or being made fun of, being accepted. These are the subconscious layers that are who we are. And it's this unresolved or suppressed emotional trauma that is the energy behind our anxiety. And some point in our life, these programs served us. Again, they kept us safe in some way. But if you're struggling in life with anxiety and stress and emotions, then you're probably still living in this survival mode that's not serving you anymore. It's not keeping you safe anymore, it's just bringing you down. Now, there are a few other sources of subconscious programming. For example, some is handed down to us generationally, and even some from past lives, which I'm not going to get into in this video. But if you are interested in learning more about that and you want me to make a video about that, I am happy to. Please leave me a comment below and let me know. The science behind that is really, really interesting. So I would be happy to share all of that data with you. But the point that I'm making today is that some of these memories that are contributing to your anxiety, They may be fresh in your mind, right? Like that boss that drove me freaking nuts. But others are probably buried deep down inside in your subconscious mind. And that is why it is so important to do the shadow work, to find these memories. Because we don't know what we don't know. We can't remember what's in our unconscious mind. So when we do the shadow work, we're able to locate these belief systems so that we can do the work to release and rewrite them. Rewrite them. It's powerful work. Neuroplasticity. The mind is always ever shaping. And I have found a perfect roadmap and strategy to do this, to do the rewiring using the neuroscience. Because to uncover these traumas one by one will free them. It will allow you to release what is no longer serving you so that you can step into your personal power, babe. And instead of living in survival mode, become a conscious creator in life. So this is how you can heal your own anxiety, by getting to the root cause of the problem. And not only shifting out of survival mode, but stepping into this power of manifestation, being a manifesting badass, because we are all manifesting from the moment that we wake up every single day since the day you were born without even realizing it. So if you want to learn more about what I do, the programs that I offer and other really cool resources, I will put some links below this video. And for now, I hope you have a badass day. I hope that if you want some more free resources from me, I also will link some of my social media links down below. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you got any value at all, please give me a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I'd love to be a part of your journey, and I hope that you have a very, very beautiful day. I will see you soon.